Games compilations are always a great thing. Having a collection of your favorite games in a single and nifty package always gives us that cozy feeling, not to mention the convenience. And in the past few years, we, fans of the beat 'em up genre, got a ton of collections varying many degrees of quality. From the Double Dragon Kunio-kun collection, passing through Capcom beat 'em up bundle to the Genesis collection, and finally TMNT Kawabanga collection, which was, in my opinion, one of the best I ever saw, we had a ton of options. Last week we got a new one, the IGS Arcade Classics Collections, a collection of beat 'em up from the Taiwanese company IGS that was very prolific back in the late 90s and early 2000s. But is this collection worthy of the $30 asked? And before I forget, hi, I am Savino, and this is the Flying Kick. A little bit of history lesson. IGS, or International Game System, was founded in 1989 in Taiwan, and it was a pretty prolific company in the Chinese market. The first game, a not-so-impressive 2D fighting game, reached the market in 1994, and from there they keep on going until the latest release, an arcade light gun game called Monster Ride 2, released in 2019. As you can see, this company was and is very active in the market, so it's really a surprise that it took this long to release a compilation of some of their best beat 'em ups. But what's in this collection, I can hear you ask? Since this is the Flying Kick channel, we will take a brief look at each game, but I won't go deep into each one in this video because I'm pretty sure you guys don't have hours to spend here. But I think I will take a look over each and every one this week in more details if this video goes well. The beat 'em ups in question are Knights of Valor Super Heroes and Knights of Valor Plus, Knights of Valor 2, Nine Dragons, Oriental Legends is Spooky, and The Gladiator. Two of them, Knights of Valor Super Heroes and Plus, are virtually the same game. They have small differences like in the presentation and small tweaks in the gameplay, but they seem to be the same. I won't lie saying I am a deep connoisseur of the franchise because I am not. But based on the time I spent with these two games, there weren't very noticeable differences. Knights of Valor 2, Nine Dragons is a better game than the first two. Although the game has basically the same characters as the previous one, it offers better gameplay, better graphics and animations, and superb backgrounds. This game is one of the best here, with great set pieces in gorgeous scenarios. Oriental Legend is easily the worst here. The game has a pretty weird theme, at least for us here in the West. But that's not what makes this game bad. What really hurt this game is the terrible graphics, boring combat, and the lack of anything interesting in my opinion. I beat all the games in this collection except for this one because it was so freaking boring that I was forcing myself to play. Now, with Oriental Legend Spooky, things are a little bit different. While the game is very similar to the previous one, the theme and the characters you play are so over the top and crazy that I couldn't help myself. Take a look at the characters you can pick. Some of them barely fit the screen. While the combat isn't anything incredible, you will be laughing all the way to the end of the game. Finally, The Gladiator is the game that I deem the best in this collection. The graphics are awesome, the animation is great, and the combat is excellent. This is a game that I want to talk more deeply in the future because there's really something great here and something great for everybody. The combat here borrows mechanics from fighting games where directional inputs are required to unleash your best moves. But if you think this type of mechanic has no place in a beat 'em up, you can simply select auto combo and the moves will be unleashed as you press your attack. No Hadouken or Shoryuken commands required here. This one I will be taking a deep look at this week no matter what because this is a very, very good game. Now that we take a quick look at all the beat 'em ups in this collection, let's talk about the features. And sadly, what they offer here is way less than they could. You have your controller option where you can assign the commands as you wish and they work independently for each game. You can quick save and quick load using the option Game Archive. You can turn all sounds on and off, and note that I'm not talking about the SFX or music. You can mute the whole game or not. There's also an option to see all the moves from each character, which I must say, it's a very welcome addition. You can also restart the game and go back to the menu, and there's an option for video where you can pick full screen, 90% zoom, 70% zoom, and that's it. And this is the point I want to bring to your attention, the emulation. Unfortunately, the news isn't good as I expected. While all the games run fine with no visual glitches and all effects intact, the game runs only in 16:9. This is honestly a bummer in my opinion. Sure, this in no way affects the gameplay, but it shows that the developers weren't so keen to put any effort into make the game run as the original ones ran. And for some people, this can be a serious oversight to the point of making them simply dismiss the game altogether, and honestly, I can't blame them. Also, the collection lacks any type of filter selections, and while I usually don't like this type of filters, I think the lack of them speaks highly of how much effort the devs did not put in this collection. Another problem with the emulation is the audio. It's terrible. I will be quiet for a while so you can hear how bad these games are sounding. Take a listen. Can you notice how bad it sounds? It seems they took the original audio, transmitted it via radio, and recorded it with a phone on the other side before putting it into the game. When compared to the same game running on Mame on my tablet, you can notice the audio samples are way better than the Switch version, not to mention the game is 4x3. And there's even a warning on Mame Android version saying the SFX is broken in this emulator. Dude, you haven't seen broken yet. Also, that's the worst news I could possibly give, is that the game has 15 or so frames of input delay. I made several tests here with what I had in hand, a slow-mo camera and a 8-bit DO controller connected by cable, and I still get around 15 frames every single time, as you can see in the footage. The collection offers online multiplayer for all beat'em ups but the Gladiator, no idea why, and don't be fooled by the multiplayer options when you just start the game. This is local multiplayer. The online multiplayer will be found under the networking options. Yeah, that was a weird choice of words. The multiplayer is okay at best. While you can get some sections where everything will go smooth, the servers are all in China and you have little to no information about the lobbies available other than playtime and number of players. You can create private rooms and share the codes with friends to prevent playing with people too far away from you, but again, with all servers located in China, I don't know how good this experience will be. Look, the games, while not stellar like many others beat'em up that came even before, are pretty good, and the fact that this is the first home release to grace the West, as far as I know at least, could make this collection obligatory. But the stretched image, the broken sound, the unforgiving input delay, all wrapped with a $30 tag, makes this collection a pass, in my opinion, at least until they fix all of these problems. I mean, if you know me, you know that my priorities in beat'em ups are combat, sound and graphics in this order, and here, the combat is broken due to the input delay, the audio has a terrible low quality, and the graphics are stretched out. It's disappointment after disappointment. Honestly, we all know these games have been around on wrong sites for years now, and if you want to check them out in a way better shape, you know what to do. I'm always willing to support developers, and I always beg for these collections exactly to avoid emulation and have my games in a legal way. But when the developers ask $30 for an inferior and somewhat broken version of the game, it's hard to say to you guys to avoid the good and old Mame. If they fix it, all of it, I will change my mind, but until this day comes, if it comes, I will stick to Mame, even owning this collection. And that's it for the review, folks. I hope it helped you to save $30, and even with all of this you decide to give this game a chance, let me know down below and maybe we can play a match or two, who knows. I hope you all have an awesome day, and remember, keep it up.